Hi, welcome to Health, Wealth, and Happiness. I am Sharika, and in today's video, I'll be answering two questions that were asked based on a video that I did previously. Now, as I mentioned before, the purpose of this channel is to explore health, wealth, and happiness with the intention of getting to health, wealth, and happiness using the law of attraction. If you have been watching the channel, I would have spoken about topics such as self-love, forgiveness, criticism, your goals, your dreams, topics like those. Those are foundation topics. I call them foundation topics simply because they prepare you for taking the next step. Sort of like house cleaning. Before you do your decoration for the holidays, you do a thorough house cleaning. You clean out the garbage, discard of the old stuff that are no longer serving you. Those areas, those topics are geared towards that, getting you prepared. So foundation. Now, in my previous video, I would have spoken about some beliefs that I had that were holding me back, preventing me from accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish. And someone asked, have I moved past those beliefs, and how did I get past those beliefs? So in answering the question, I have definitely, the questions, for question one, I have definitely moved past those beliefs. I now believe that anything is possible and that the sky is the limit. There's nothing that I cannot do, be, or have. That is now what I believe, and I intend to prove those beliefs. Now, as it relates to question two, what did I do? Now, looking back, it sort of feels like I had lost hope, so to speak. You know, when I look back at what my, over time, my drive, my desire for accomplishing things, I guess it had completely depleted. Like I didn't have any, you know, and when I got to a point of frustration, complete frustration. Like I was so tired, everything was just mundane, and I was just going with the flow, you know, like a leaf floating on water. And life was just happening. I mean, and it wasn't happening how I would have liked it to happen. So I got frustrated, and I went searching for information because I was always told that I had all this talent, you know, I had all this potential. And it was so strange for me because, okay, Sharika, you have all this potential, and then what? Why isn't anything happening for you? Why can't anything happen for you? So I got to the place where it was really puzzling for me. I couldn't figure it out. So I went searching on the internet to see what I could find. Now, I had already been introduced to motivational speakers, but I thought I would give it a second knock, you know, see what it's about. Now, I would listen to motivational speakers. I downloaded some affirmations that some of them had, and I would listen to those at nights and during the daytime. I also would read the books that they would recommend, and then I would take some time out to kind of process the information that I was gathering and do some introspection, see where it applied to me, and all of that stuff. And I mean, I I had I had so many aha moments, you know. I was like, "Oh my gosh, Sharika, why didn't you know this? Why didn't you know this? How come you didn't hear this anywhere? And how come no one told you this, you know?" And listening and listening and reading and finding more information and finding out why some things were the way they were, I decided that I needed to work on myself. So I had to come up with a plan of how I would do that. And the first thing I did was I made a timetable for myself. So I had to carve out some time where I could be by myself, undisturbed. I could think. I could process my thoughts and all that stuff. So I made a timetable for I created a timetable for my morning routine and my nighttime routine. So in the mornings, 1 to 2 hours before everyone else was up, and at nights after everyone else was off to bed, I would work on myself. In the morning, I'd get up, I'd exercise, meditate, do my devotional, journal. Now, for devotional time, that's the time when I do introspection. That's the time when I do my prayer and reflect and all that stuff. Trust me, introspection, reflection, all that is really, really helpful. Well, it helped me a lot because it allowed me some things. I had this thing where I couldn't remember a lot of my childhood experiences, and that helped me a lot. I was always wondering what happened during that. There were just some distinct things that I would remember, but for the most part, a lot of my childhood experiences I wouldn't remember. So introspection and reflection during the devotional period time slot helped me to remember some of that, and to help me to remember where I picked up some of my old beliefs. So yes, and then I would journal. Journaling took many forms. It was either gratitude or affirmations, or I wrote down my goals and my dreams, or I wrote down some of the things that I was finding out about myself that I figured were worth noting down. And as I said, I did my exercises. Now, outside of that, well, that was my morning time. In the evening time, I would listen to more speakers, and I would read, and I journal again. Right, so yes, listen to more speakers, read, journal. That was the basic idea. That's what I would do most times. And a point to note, when I would listen to the speakers or I'd read a book, I would always make note of any point or any statement that stood out, anything that resonated with me. I would write that down, and I would put it on a post-it, put it in my bathroom, carry it around with me, and I made sure that I was always able to see that and be reminded of it, so I could remind myself. So even for the affirmations, I'd put some up in my bathroom on the mirror. I have some there now. I need to change those post-its because they're just old and looking raggedy. But yeah, so those are some of the things that I did. And then over time, I think the discipline and the affirmations and everything, it kind of stirred me up on the inside. So that desire to accomplish things returned. I started dreaming again, and this kind of dreaming that I was doing, it wasn't anything like anything that I've that I had. It wasn't like dreaming that I was dreaming before, because or I had dreamt before. You know, before I would think of something that I could maybe would have wanted, and then the idea pops in your head, and your mind kicks in and say, oh, that's not possible, and you just cast it aside. Well, that was no longer happening. I was dreaming, and I was dreaming. I would live out my dream, and I would write it down and stuff like that. And some people would probably ask, how did the morning and the nighttime routine help me? But the discipline and all of that, I don't know how it ties in, it just does. It's just the process, and it ties in, and it all works together. So take one one example of how it worked for me is, take this video now. I mean, 2 to 3 years ago, I would not be sitting here. Nope, not gonna happen. Sharika is not gonna sit in front of a camera and say anything. I mean, I wouldn't smile on a photograph. All my pictures from 2, 3 years back, no smile. Absolutely no smile. I was as serious as a judge giving a sentence. No smile. And no, I am here. I am making a video for the World Wide Web, and people are gonna see it. Potentially millions of people are gonna see it. And I am here making this video. That should show you how far I've come in terms of confidence and belief in myself, and the ability to just sit here and make a video for people to see. For me, that is really, really tremendous improvement. Because I know where I'm coming from as it relates to this stuff, so I know how far I have come. Even with the smiling, I mean, I'm smiling on a video. You have no idea how major that is, but that is really, really major. So those are some of the things that I did to get. That's how I got my jump start. And no, as I said before, I think the sky is the limit, and I have things that I want to accomplish, and I know that if I just stick to it, and if I once I commitment is key, like absolutely key. Because so many of those mornings when I was supposed when I got out of bed, like I was tired. I mean, exhausted. I had work and I had my kids, and then I'm going to bed late most nights, 11 o'clock. I tried to get in bed the latest 11 o'clock, and then I was up by 4 a.m. So, not a lot of sleep, but it was most definitely worth it. So, you have to be committed. You have to be committed. Commitment is absolutely necessary. It's key, because if you're not committed and you don't know what you're, if you don't, you need to set a target, commit to that target, and then do what is necessary to get to that target. So yes, so those are the things that I did to get my jump start. Those are the things that I did to feel alive again. Those are the things that I did to get my life back on track, so in some sort of way, so to speak. Yeah, so and there were some other little things, but we'll get to those over time. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment, and I'll be happy to respond. But until next time, remember to say I love you to you and someone else too, if you can. Like, share, and subscribe so that you can hear how I master the law of attraction to get the life that I want. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.